Hey guys, this is Coach Nate McBride with the Blade Fit Academy, and I get asked a lot of questions about the dummies that I build, and so I just wanted to do a quick video here and show you the difference between the two major sets of dummies that I have, between this guy and that guy, what I use them for, how I built them, etc. So let's get into it. Now first off, it is the COVID-19 meltdown, and my garage is a giant filthy mess. So whatever, it is what it is. So let's talk about this guy. I built this guy first. So the spine, first off, here's the dummy. It's more robust. This type setup is used for a more like a Buhurt setting. There's a lot more weight to it. You could use it as a punching bag. You can kick it. You could really hit hard with swords. You can put a sledgehammer to it, and it works great. Depending on how much force on it, you can put more tires. So the design is I have this free-floating spine, okay, in here, right? And this is just a 4x4, and that dummy right there, that thing that looks like a 5-hour energy drink, slides over the top of this guy here. A pretty simple design. And these are truck tires. You could get these from Discount Tire. In my area, they give them to you for free. The used ones for exercise purposes, for fitness purposes. So here we go. So this distance from here to here is 10.5 inches. On the inside, it's about 3.75 inches, right? Roughly, right? 3.75 inches. You want a little give, okay? And this spine aligns the bases, and you could stack. Like, you could go all the way up to the top if you want. This is a fence post that I got at Home Depot, but you could just get a regular 4x4 that doesn't have this fancy top. When you hit this, the tires provide a spring, and then they take you back to zero. They take the spine back to zero, right? So I kick the thing, and it goes back to zero, okay? And the more bases you have, the more spring you've got, the more weight at the bottom. So you could really even try and tackle this thing or smack the top with a sledgehammer, and it's great. Now, of course, you can't hit the wood with a sledgehammer. That's what this is. Okay, it's hollow in the center, and I have carpet and carpet padding, right, round all the way around. So what I do is I start with the carpet, I wrap it around, and I tape it. It's just duct tape, guys. It's all it is. And then I reverse the carpet, put some carpet padding, and then I duct tape for the skin. And I put a little duct tape on the inside, and then on the bottom side. I mean, when I have a problem with the duct tape, then I just duct tape it some more. So I don't care if I cut the duct tape, put a hole in it, whatever. That carpet and carpet padding can take a literal beating. I hit this thing with 25-pound sledgehammers, and between that cushion and the springiness of the tires, it really shields this 4x4. You can give it any punishment you want. And with every time you use a sledgehammer, you touch up the tape, and you're good to go for the next round, and it looks just fine. Now, I have used this particular spine for, gosh, almost 7 years, and it's just now, through heavy sledgehammer use, it's got some cracks in it near the base. Where is it? Somewhere here. I can't even find it with the camera, but anyway, they're there. But that's okay. This is cheap. And this one thing has lasted me a long time. Now the bottom, because sometimes I do this on wood floors and whatnot, I have this rubber base, just to be nice to some inside floors and surfaces. And I will refresh that rubber when it gets worn down, because, I want to be polite where I'm using this thing. So that's this guy. It's as rough as you want to be. Now this guy here is for Bopper training and for HEMA. What's really nice about this, okay, so let me back up. A single tire, it's got, let me take this base off here, okay, it's what's the distance of that? So what, it's about just under 2.5 this way and this way. Yeah, about 2.5 inches. And what this spine is made out of, this guy, put it in the camera view, is 1-inch diameter PEX pipe, not PVC. It's got to be PEX. The reason why is there's flex in this. Now the reason why I went to training with these guys, number one, lugging this sucker around everywhere, especially when you get multiples for class time, is you know, it's a warm-up all by itself, number one. You know, that's fine. But, you know, when you're hauling them up and down stairs and, you know, when you've got lots and lots of gear that you got to haul and you don't have a giant truck, I'm always looking to save space so I can have more things and lighter and easier and more effective, right? So that brought me to this guy here. So this guy here just fits, and the nice thing about this is there's a lot of flex, but it goes back to 0. Okay, it's really nice. And another reason why this is nice is because with your wrist, when you're hitting something a lot with a sword, the concussion goes onto your wrist. Well, this wrapped around the PEX pipe is a moving blanket, and those are really cheap at Harbor Freight or whatever equivalent store, and so it's keeping your joints healthy, your wrists healthy, so you could do a lot of training, especially if you have a Bopper type weapon and you're hitting this and this is cushy and then it flexes. It works really, really great, and this is really all you need for, you know, saber, long sword, arming sword, whatever. Yeah, well, spit it out, Nate. What I'm trying to say is it works just fine. It works awesome. And again, if there's a problem with the duct tape, see, I'm about to tape this up. I'm not sure if you can see that. This is pretty beat up, so I'm just going to put some more red duct tape around this guy. This is moving blanket. Now, if you're worried about metal, you know, steel swords, you can still train with this, with steel swords. Maybe you don't want to have to tape it up all the time, so you just get some rope, okay? So what I would recommend, you have your PEX pipe, still wrap it with the moving blanket, and then wrap that with a coiled rope. And that's super, super durable. It still has some give. It's got some bend in the core. It goes back to 0 because of the base, and it's golden. It has been very effective for training not only my youth students, but adult students. It works super, super good. And then, you know, when I want to do serious punches or kicks, or if I'm using Buhurt weapons, that beast can absorb a lot more, and it gives you a lot more resistance. I can shield bash this one, and it's going to give me that resistance that I'm looking for. Again, especially if I'm putting another tire on. Again, this is 10.5 inches. This is 3.75 inches roughly. And you know, you may have to sand a little or something, but when you put the 4x4 in here, you want it to have a little bit of play. And of course, the 4x4 isn't exactly 4 inches. You've got two 2x4s. You know, I'm reluctant to give you the exact measurement from here to there because the tire that you get is going to be a different size. I mean, really, you go to the place and they give you what they have on hand. So, I mean, I could say, oh yeah, this size tire and then this exact inches. Just so you know, you got a lot of play here. Okay, and I'm just eyeballing it. Yeah, so we got this over that and this here. So yeah, it's about 22 inches. Like I said, but your mileage will vary. But you don't want to go here because there's a steel inside most tires there. So right around from here to here, you've got just rubber. So you've got a lot of play. So maybe you only have 21-inch lengths. That works just fine, guys. It's the important thing is when you have multiples of these bases, the important thing is trying to put your square right in the middle of the tire. And it really doesn't even have to be in the exact middle. You just kind of stack one of these tires, see, on top of the other. What you do is you just stack it on top, square it up. You just eyeball it, and then you dump the spine in there. I recommend sticking the dummy on the spine before you throw it in there. It's just a lot easier. And, you know, it self-corrects. And boom, there you go. This is about the 2x4, what? This is about 1.75 inches roughly. So, you know, you're gonna want like 2.5 or 3 inch bolts and nuts, and of course you want some washers to go around. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4 per tire. Yeah, so, and it's okay if the bolts underneath are hanging, if they're long. That doesn't matter because nothing really gets in there, so it's fine. So if you want to be on the safe side and do 3-inch bolts that go in there, and that's probably actually better, because when you're messing around with this thing trying to put it all together, it's really nice to have a long bolt that you could just easily thread the nut. So that's a good thing. Okay, so moving on to this guy, what I have here. These are 2x6s. Okay, so 2x6 here, and then what I've got 3. I just use deck screws, right? So I got 3 deck screws here, 3 deck screws here, 3 deck screws here, 3 deck screws here, right? And again, the length is from here to here somewhere, right? And I put the bolt here. So this is kind of, it's arbitrary. It all depends on the size of your tire. So, oh yeah, even less. It's probably about 12 inches, guys. It's probably about 12 inches each one of these. So a foot long piece each should be plenty. And then I've got them screwed on to this side. And then I took another piece, because it was handy, of 2x6, and I just put it under there. And you could see then that the bottom of this PEX pipe, and see the 4 PEX pipes are just duct taped together. Real simple, guys. Real simple construction. The 2x6 spare piece is just you know, screwed on up there. And then that way, I use this guy on wood floors and a wood dance floor. So that way, when we're hitting this dummy and it's flexing everywhere, it's not scraping against the floor at all. So you can see this floats. It's not touching the ground, if you notice down in there. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to encourage you to look in my library to view some of these videos on how I use these dummies. I've used these dummies for almost 7 years now. The big ones for almost 7 years, and these other smaller ones that I'm talking about for, gosh, maybe 1.5 years. They both work fantastic. If you have any questions, message me. But yeah, that's all I got today. So this is Coach Nate with the Blade Fit Academy. Always remember, slay those demons. Catch you next time.